Fellas, it's finally here. The long-awaited, the much-teased, the game-changing visa we've been talking about for over a year now. It's finally live. What's up, savvy expats? If you've ever dreamed about living in the Philippines long-term, soaking up the island life, and not having to bounce around every 30 days with the tourist visa, well, get ready because this right here might be your golden ticket. Today, we're talking about the brand new Philippine Digital Nomad Tourist Visa, what it is, who it's for, how to qualify for it, and most importantly, how you can apply for it. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's get into it. For those of you who've been watching the channel for a while, you might remember that last year I did a whole video teasing about this Digital Nomad Act. And back then, it was just a proposal, kind of a dream on the horizon. And you already know, with the whole Filipino timing that we talk about, things here in this country tend to take a little bit longer than expected. But fast forward to today and boom, it's finally real. The Philippine government finally launched the Digital Nomad Visa, and I gotta be honest, it's a pretty good deal. Essentially, this is for people who work online but want to live in the Philippines long term. And whether you're working for a tech company in California, freelancing for clients in Europe, or running your own online business, the Philippine government is finally saying, hey, you're welcome here as long as you're earning money from abroad. Now, here's the kicker. You get to stay in the country for 12 months with the options to be able to extend for an additional 12 months. Basically, what I'm saying here is you get to stay in the country for 2 full years without having to deal with the headache of renewing that tourist visa or handle those border runs. Now, you may be wondering, Evan, why would I go for the Digital Nomad Visa over the classic tourist visa? And I completely understand. After all, the tourist visa does allow you to stay in the country up to 2 years as well. But here's the difference. With the classic tourist visa out here, you would have to make extensions every 2 to 3 months. Meanwhile, with the Digital Nomad Visa, you can stay here up to an initial 12 months, extend for another 12 months after that without having to deal with those extensions or those border runs. And really, this just lessens the hassle of having to go to the Bureau of Immigration every few months and extend that visa. It can be a real headache sometimes. And like I mentioned, on top of that, with the Digital Nomad Visa, you can extend for an additional 12 months. Again, you can stay here up to 2 full years. And so with that, that means you can actually build a real life here. Lease a condo, build a routine here, and maybe even bring a family along. And the best part, you don't have to pay local income tax on your foreign earnings. Yep, you heard that right. As long as your income is coming from outside the Philippines, they're not taking a cut. Sounds pretty good, right? But also, if you want to hear my personal opinion, as a majority of you guys watching are retirees, one of the better visas to go for, aside from the Digital Nomad Visa, would be the Special Resident Retiree Visa, aka the SRRV Visa. Why? Well, as long as you meet the age qualification of 50 years old, you have a pension that you're receiving, and you are capable of allocating 10K USD or 1.5K USD if you are a military retiree, then you would be eligible for permanent residency in the Philippines. And obviously, as you would know, permanent residency in the Philippines is quite a bit better than 2 years of eligibility in the country. And for example, this is what my team did for one of our clients, Bruce from Wisconsin, who needed permanent residency in the Philippines for this new chapter of his life. And you tie that in with us also securing his rental unit for only $800 per month in BGC, he was off to the races with his new life out here in the Philippines. That's just some food for thought due to the majority of you guys watching could actually go for and qualify for this more superior visa. But again, that's not what you came here for. Back to the Digital Nomad Visa. Now, I know what you may be thinking. All right, Evan, it sounds great, but what's the catch? What do I need to qualify for this visa? Well, let me break it down for you. First off, you have to be working for a company or clients that are located outside of the Philippines. And I want to be clear here, this isn't for folks that are trying to get hired locally. That is still a no-go. You need to show that your job, your income, and your hustle is still based outside of the country and is abroad. So if you're a remote employee, consultant, freelancer, or business owner, you're good, as long as the money is coming from outside of the Philippines. And yes, you will need proof. I'm talking employment contracts, client agreements, and maybe a letter coming from your employer confirming that you are working remotely for them. The next qualification, income. The Philippine government has officially set the minimum annual income requirement for digital nomads at 24,000 USD per year. That's about $2,000 per month, not crazy high. In fact, that is actually lower than what Thailand and Malaysia requires for their digital nomad visa, while the Philippines can still confirm and verify that you have enough to support yourself while living out here. So what you'll need to do is to provide bank statements, pay slips, tax returns, and anything that shows you're consistently making that $2,000 per month with your remote job. Third qualification is health insurance, and yeah, this is an important one. The Philippines wants to make sure that if something happens to you, you're covered. So before you even apply for this visa, very important guys, make sure that you are covered with international health insurance during the full duration of your stay here. Whether you're staying here for 1 year or 2 years, make sure that you're covered before you apply. And if you're not sure where to get that international health insurance, feel free to shoot me an email below and I can help point you in the right direction personally. And finally, the last qualification is a clean criminal record. You'll need to show that you don't have any legal issues back home, wherever you're from. And basically, what that means is getting police clearance from your home country and also having it apostilled. Which basically, having it apostilled is just a fancy way of saying that it has been legalized for international use. So yeah, remote work, income, health insurance, clean criminal record, those 4 main things. Now, if you have these 4 boxes checked, you're off to a solid start. Now, just a word of caution so that you have a heads up on your end. If there's one main issue that I see expats deal with time and time again when making the transition here, it's dealing with the Philippine bureaucracy. It can be slow, it can be arduous, and it can be confusing, and maybe you even have a tad bit of fear of the unknown when embarking on this completely new chapter of your life. And at the end of the day, there is a lot of red tape to cut through that a lot of these other vlogs fail to highlight. And for you, if you feel like you're almost at a crossroads, you don't even know where to start, which visa is best for you, how to obtain said visa, and everything in between, like opening up a bank account, locking down the best health insurance plan, and securing the most ideal rental unit for you without getting scammed like we did with Bruce from Wisconsin, then click the link down below and we'll set up a diagnostic call where I'll craft for you a clear game plan to get you out here to the Philippines as smoothly as possible. Okay, now the big question, how do you actually apply for the digital nomad visa? Let's walk through it together, nothing too complicated. Step 1, gather your documents. So you're gonna need, number 1, a valid passport. Please make sure that this passport is at least valid 6 months before its expiry date. Number 2, proof of remote employment or self-employment. Number 3, documents that show you have an annual income with a minimum of $24,000 per year. Number 4, health insurance papers. And 5, like we talked about earlier, police clearance that have been apostilled. Make sure that everything is scanned and also saved digitally, as you'll be uploading the majority of these documents online. Step 2, go to visa.gov.ph. This essentially is the official site for the Philippine Visa Government Portal. And once you're there, create an account, fill in the application form, and upload your documents. Now, it's not the fanciest website in the world, so be patient with it. It does get the job done. And step 3, book an appointment at your nearest Philippine consulate or embassy within your state. And after you've submitted everything online, that's usually where you'll have to bring your documents and bring it in person. And after you've submitted your documents online, that's usually where they'll ask you to show up in person. Here, you'll bring your original documents and passport, and they'll conduct a short interview with you. Step 4, we're almost home to the races. This is where you pay your visa fee. Now, the exact fee for the Philippine Digital Nomad visa hasn't been confirmed yet, but based on the other long-term visas, for example, like the student visa, it's looking like the fee will roughly range between $250 to $300 for this visa. Finally, step 5, this is where you'll wait for approval. And boom, it's as simple as that. From there, you have your golden ticket to sipping on coconuts on the beach while working on your laptop. And so thank you for watching Savvy Expats. I hope this video gave you much value when it comes to securing your digital nomad visa. Again, I'm completely aware that the majority of you that follow along with the channel is currently retired or about to retire. So if you meet that age qualification of 50 years old, I would actually have you look into the special resident retiree visa, because again, this visa is for permanent residency in the country. For me personally, I've been waiting a long time for this digital nomad visa as well. Since we last talked about it, it's been over a year, but I'm glad that it's finally released. And if you're planning on moving to the Philippines within the next 1 to 6 months as a retiree, and you're serious about getting help to get this transition secured for you with boots on the ground guidance, then feel free to click the link down below. Other than that, it's always a pleasure, Savvy Expats, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.